Hi, welcome to Math Just Got Easier for You. Today's lesson is on solving two-step equations. We have 2x plus 4 equals 8. And as we did in our previous lesson, I showed you how to do the traditional, the machine, and the inverse trick methods of solving the equation. So let's start with the traditional method first. So we'll start with 2x plus 4 equals 8. First of all, we have to do our inverse operation. We have 2x plus 4 equals 8. So we always start with, if you're adding or subtracting, that's where you begin. So since we're adding 4, we're going to subtract 4 first. And what we do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So in this case, this cancels out, and we're left with 2x equals 4, which is 8 minus 4. So from there, we'll do our inverse operation of multiplication because we have 2 times x equals 4. So I'm going to do the inverse operation, which is divide by 2. And what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. So my 2's cancel out. I'm left with x equals 2. So our final answer is x equals 2. Let's do it the machine way. So we're starting out with 2x plus 4 equals 8. Always with the machine, you will start out with the x. So I'm going to put the x in the first circle. And what am I doing to my x? I'm multiplying times 2. So I'm going to do times 2. And then I'm going to add 4. And that equals 8. So all I did was just recopy down what my original equation was. So now I'm going to undo what has been done within my equation. So I'm going to start out with 8, and I'm going to do the inverse, which is subtract 4. So the inverse of plus 4 or adding 4 is subtracting 4. So I have 8 minus 4, which equals 4, right? So from there, since I had times 2 or multiply times 2, I'm going to do the inverse, which is divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is going to equal 2. So my final answer is x equals 2. The last method is my inverse trick. So I'm seeing what all is going on with my x. Well, I know if I start with my 4, I subtract it. Since that's adding 4, I'm going to subtract 4. And here, where it says x times 2, since it's multiply times 2, I'm going to divide by 2. All right, so let's go ahead and take my 8. I'm going to do 8 minus 4, which gives me 4. And then I'm going to do 4 divided by 2, which gives me 2. So our final answer is x equals 2. So those are the three methods for 2x plus 4 equals 8. Let's try another example. Now this next example is x plus 7 divided by 5 equals 3. So the traditional method tells me to start here with my division, and once I handle that, then I can deal with my plus 7. So since this is x plus 7 divided by 5, I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. Remember, what you do to the left, you have to do to the right. So that cancels out my 5. I'm left with x plus 7 equals 3 times 5, which is 15. Now, I'm going to have to get rid of my plus 7. So I'll do the inverse, which is subtract 7 from the left side. And what I do to the left, I have to do to the right side of the equation. That cancels out my 7. I'm left with x equals 8. So my final answer is x equals 8. Let's do the machine method. So always with the machine method, as I stated before, you start out with your x or your variable. So what am I doing to my x? Well, first is x plus 7. So I'm adding 7 to my x. After I add 7 to my x, I'm then dividing by 5, and that equals 3. So I'm going to undo it on the right side. Start out with 3. And since that's divided by 5, the inverse of divided by 5 is times 5, or multiply times 5. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. And from there, the inverse of plus 7, or adding 7, is subtract 7. So 15 subtract 7 is going to give me 8. So my final answer is x equals 8. Now let's look at the inverse trick, and I'm going to rewrite this equation to make it a little bit easier. So I have x plus 7 divided by 5 equals 3. So let's go through and do the inverse of each one of these steps. X plus 7, that will be minus 7, divided by 5 is times 5. Okay, so let's do 3 times 5, which gives me 15. And 15 minus 7 gives me 8. So my final answer is x equals 8. So I've just shown you how to solve two-step equations using 3 different methods: traditional, machine, and the inverse trick. Please subscribe below, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.